Hey everyone, it's Trader Rob. We've got a full morning of high impact news reports, including PMI at 8:45, 9 o'clock, and then we've got oil inventory at 9:30 Central Time this morning. Let's see how the strategies navigate days like today, right after the intro. As always, nothing that I state on my channel is financial advice. Trading futures or any type of trading is risky business. Any capital that is put out there is at risk for loss. Okay, so I'm going to first start off with hopefully majority of you watching this video had a chance to watch my video from yesterday called Boring Trades. I think there's some really good nuggets in there. If you haven't watched that video, highly suggest watching that after this video from today. So, all right. So today we've got a lot of high impact news hitting. We had ADP jobs report this morning, or say employment change at 7:15. We've got S&P PMI at 8:45, ISM PMI at 9 a.m., which will move the equity markets pretty strongly. And we have oil inventory this morning at 9:30 a.m. All my times are in Central Time. I'm in Chicago. That's where we get the time frames from. I am gonna have to. I am going to be cutting out today a little bit earlier. I got work I've got a big panel that I'm sitting on at 10 a.m. So unless oil session 2 comes in really early from that 9 to 10 a.m. window, I'm probably going to have to skip that session, which is going to be a bummer. But I'll probably be able to get to watch maybe some of the action. All right, so oil. Oil is on my left-hand side of my chart. We are in an uptrend here this morning. Gold, which is on the right side of my chart, like yesterday, started off very rangy, and today seems to be the same type of price action, very rangy. So we'll see here if we can get a gold trade set up between 8 and 9 a.m., and then I'll be looking again for oil session 2 as well. Yesterday, we'll look really quickly at our trades. We actually had no setup in session 1 or in session 2. It's kind of a rarity, but it does happen from time to time. We actually, I think, went through a period of almost 3 hours of not one inside bar, which is kind of strange, but it happens. In gold, we had one trade. Obviously, we only take one setup per day, and that one we got kind of lucky on because that came in at 8:50 to 8:55 close. So we almost went through that entire session without an inside bar as well. This was a max size trade because if you were to put your stop loss at the bottom of our source candle, it comes out to 47 ticks, maybe 46. Looks like 47. Anything 40 ticks and higher, we automatically reduce that down to 35 ticks, which is where your profit target was at, which is what you received. You got your full take profit there yesterday. So if we take a look at our dashboard, we currently sit at $51,501. So we've got a great buffer built up, and this is only trading oil and gold, honestly, at like pretty much half position sizing. And the Rob reversal, we did have two trades yesterday. We had a early, well, this was 10:45 candle, gave you a setup to go short. We then do go short. Goes, I think, 24 points in your favor, reverses for a first loss. We then get another setup that is a valid setup at 12:30. This does not activate because the next candle closes down. So obviously we're trying to go long. We want that momentum to go long. So if the next candle closes below the ADMA or closes as a down candle, or it could have been this one here, whichever one, following it, if it does not meet one of those two right criterias, you then have a invalid trade. And then our second setup of the day was at 1:15, which is the end of my trading session, but still a valid trade. We end up going long here off of this candle right here, 35-point take profit. So Rob reversal was pretty much a scratch yesterday. Let's take a look at our levels really quickly. We'll start with the NQ. We've got an old level here at 18,259 off the 4-hour chart, and this line obviously has gotten respected very well. As far as this closest to price action, right above us, we're at 18,306, and then below us 18,234 and 218. If we were to get a drop down here, I could see myself taking possibly a stab at a long from here, stop loss right underneath here. That's the thought process. We do have a gap in the market right here, and the next level above that is at 18,406. Let's take a look at the YM. YM has got a very large gap here on the 4-hour. So within that, I could definitely see us getting into here, but we do have a level at 39,649. We've got a old level, yesterday's level at 39,523. We tapped into that here already this morning. We've got a strong 4-hour level at 39,425, and then a level at 39,394. If price action was to come down to this level, I could possibly see myself taking a long from here, stop loss right after here, possibly. And lastly, the ES. Let's see if I can squeeze this down here. There we go. So this gap here already filled out. So that gap that I had drawn in there, we can delete that now. We got a strong level at 52.63. We've got a gap on the 15-minute, and we got a gap on the 4-hour. So this would be somewhere where I could definitely see price action wanting to get into. I would more likely be trading off of this level or this level right here. And then, price action underneath us, 52.40. We've got a strong 4-hour level at 52.37, but it's actually not very strong. It's an old level from yesterday, but just keep that in mind. And you do have a gap here below us. So again, these get posted in Discord each morning. Hopefully you find some value from it, and I will be expanding on those coming up. So let's see here what we can extract from the markets. Let's see how we can navigate these high impact news here today. Stick around for my trade breakdowns and the recap coming up shortly.
Order canceled.
All right, so here is our first setup of the morning, and this is in gold. Remember, gold we trade from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We do get activated into the short. We do get initial push outside of our inside bar here, which is actually the push that I am typically looking for on these momentum plays in these strategies in gold and oil. Now, if you take a look at the white up bar to the left of the inside bar, you can tell that my stop loss is not sitting at the top of that like how it normally would, because again, part of my rules and my conditions are anything that is 40 ticks or higher, I automatically reduce to 35 ticks of take profit and 35 ticks of stop loss. And that kind of helps me with, position sizing and risk. So, we got the initial push outside of the thing that we were looking for, then kind of reversed. And then here we got a very, very strong push down. I already reduced my risk here down 50%. So I think I was looking for 17 ticks is where I should have been at, but I actually think I might have put it at 16 ticks. Again, I do that manually, and I kind of eyeball the 70% from the previous one. But you're going to see here, price action actually goes 3 or 4 ticks away from our full take profit right there, which would have been a really, really nice trade in gold 2 days in a row, max size. But again, here I've already reduced my risk, so the max loss is 16 or 17 ticks, and I do take a loss in gold.
Stop filled.
I want to say I got a little lucky today. I got a little unlucky today. Overall, work played a big part in my trading session, which I explained to you guys early in the morning. And the trade you guys just saw was in gold. I'm gonna bring that trade up first, since, how do I put this? It was a loser, but it was a positive trade for me in the fact that, and I even explained this on Discord this morning, that I managed the trade well. And this is kind of what I'm talking about. So we got into this inside bar set up in let's go one here and one here. That's correct. All right, so we got our setup this morning at the 8:10, close at 8:15 inside bar candle right here. Let's just delete this so we can all see what's going on. Right here. That was our setup in gold. And based off of, again, you'd have your order to go short at the bottom of the inside bar. You'd have an order to go long at the top of the inside bar. Both of them would be OC orders, so meaning one cancels out the other. And you obviously get activated here into the short. So when you go in to do your stop loss and your take profit, if you take your stop loss all the way to the top of the source bar, it's 43 ticks. My rules state that anything that is 40 ticks and higher, I automatically reduce to 35 ticks. Super simple. I think we've gone over this many, many times. So we're in this trade, and what happens? We get a really nice push towards our take profit. In fact, this probably came 2 or 3 ticks away from our full take profit. Let's see. About 4 ticks away from full take profit. And part of my rules is that once I'm in a trade and I am at 70% take profit, I will reduce my risk down in half, which is what I did on this trade. And, as I'm doing it, I put it into Discord, so the people that are also trading it, it's a great community. And we're all trading the same stuff. So, I mean, I put in kind of some of the things that are kind of going on. And I reduced this risk right around this candle here. You saw it in the video, okay? And we got that push down, awesome push down. Unfortunately, did not go to our full take profit. Reversed out and knocked me out for, it was either 18, I think it was 17 ticks is what I had reduced. I had reduced my stop loss to. And then obviously, if we would have stayed at 35 ticks, well, we would have obviously gotten completely knocked out for the 35 ticks. So I was able to reduce, even though I took a loser, I was able to reduce my risk down in half and make the initial blow not so hard, not so bad. So that's what I mean by it was a loser, but there was a lot of positive stuff that I took out of that trade. The eval was down $84. And the a little unlucky part for today was both oil sessions, both sessions were winners. Just some fantastic trades. I mean, all the morning strategies are doing fantastic for April, even though we're short, even though we are just the beginning. Obviously, the Rob reversal, we'll get into that one in a little bit here. But oil session 1, you get your setup here at the 8:05, 8:10 candle. We get activated into the short. This thing goes for 20 points, full take profit. session 2, which I could not trade. As I stated, I was on a panel this morning for work, and I had to I actually had to be on to Zoom, and I couldn't even have my NinjaTrader open. I didn't have any of my brokerage accounts open. Everything got shut down at, I don't know, I would say around 9ish, right around there. So obviously we get oil inventory at 9:30, and I guess it was kind of a big move. I wasn't really looking at the charts, but just looking at it now, I guess it was a pretty decent move here at the 9:30 inventory report. But you get a setup to go long at 9:45, which to me is even awesome, even better, because the report's already done. You don't have that super volatility spike one way or the other in the trade. So this would have been just a great setup that, of course, I wasn't able to take. I wasn't in front of the charts. So this got activated to the long, 14 ticks. Really nice trade. That would have pretty much got me back to break even today. But I'm happy with the way that I traded gold. And, if I can't trade it because of work, that's what pays the bills. So not much I could do about that. And so that was a little unfortunate, is obviously missing that trade. But the other thing that I kind of got lucky on was we did have a Rob reversal here today, and we had no setup. Our first valid setup came in at 12:15. We get activated into the long. This thing was just ranging forever, and then just snapped down, knocked us for a loss here. I did not take this on the eval. I didn't take it in cash. I did not have the strategies open at all. I didn't have it even NinjaTrader open. So I got a little bit lucky there because I didn't do it, but it still goes into the stats as a loss, obviously. I track it one way or the other. So I think we got 2 losses now in total. When you add the wins and the losses, I think we're down 2 trades on the Rob reversal. So hopefully we can get some pickup here in April on that trade. What else? Let's talk about the levels. Had a nice... Oh, actually, this is the one that I missed. So in Discord, let me just see what time did I post the screenshot at? Let's see. So at 8:35. So at 8:35, which was right here, this 15-minute candle was right here where we were when it came up. This was the trade that I was even talking about in the beginning part of this video. I mean, I even said it. This would be a great setup. Comes down to this line. I would have my stop loss a little bit past this line, and I just didn't have the NQ even open. I wasn't looking at it, and I completely missed this trade. And this thing would have been a beauty because my take profit would have been right at this blue line, right at this next level. And I did take a nice trade today. So I took a $522 winner on one trade, and that was on the ES. And I'll get to that in a second. Let's take a look at the YM. Oh, but just to finish off on the NQ, perfect snap on this level. We filled in the gap that I had kind of laid out here in the morning. And then look at the rejection right off of the level that I had at 18,451. So as far as that trading was concerned, that chart on the NQ, I think I nailed that one. Just unfortunate I wasn't able to trade it. And then let's go into the YM. The YM obviously filled into this big gap that I think this gap is on the 4-hour, if I'm not mistaken. And I had a level here at 39,649. Didn't tap into it, almost came right to it. But this is just not a chart that I would have really traded here today. Yeah. But the chart that I thought was a pretty easy one was the ES. So this looks familiar. I mean, obviously it's the same chart that I showed you at the same levels that I showed you for the morning time. And I took a trade right at, I want to say, I don't know, I thought it was at 9 o'clock, 8:55 or something like that. And pretty much I just knew that once I saw this direction here, I knew it wanted to at least tap into this. There was a 4-hour gap and a 15-minute gap. So I knew that that's where price action wanted to go. I honestly didn't think it would go that high. I just set my take profit to right here, which was almost 11 points. It was 10 and a half points or something like that. So that was a fantastic trade, and got this eval back up to 52,000. Let's just call it $200. So overall got kind of lucky with not having anything open on the Rob reversal today. I got a little unlucky by not being able to trade oil session 2 today. I felt very, very positive about my trade in gold, even though it was a loser. And unfortunately came a couple ticks away from full take profit. But based on my rules, and there was some discussion, there's some people that are like, oh, sometimes I'll reduce it down to half risk, sometimes I don't. And some people are like, I'm thinking about doing it. And this is the thing with these type of strategies, when they're rule-based and condition-based strategies, that's really what they need to be. You need to decide before the trade begins, before the day begins, before you start to actually trade the strategy, exactly what your rules and what your conditions are going to be. And try not to deviate, because that's when you really start kicking yourself. I get bothered and flustered sometimes when I miss trades, when I miss winners, and it's not because I didn't follow my conditions or my rules. It's because I either messed something up or I had to miss it because of work. Those are my two things. But other than that, I don't try to second guess things. I don't try to create discretionary factors into my trades, because then you start getting all over the place, and then you start losing confidence in a strategy, and you start just kind of bouncing around from one to the other. And I'll be honest with you, I did that for a long time, and it didn't work for me. So maybe others had the same story. So all right, well, the morning strategies are green for April. Rob reversal is negative for April, so hopefully we can get that one back on track. I'll see you guys here tomorrow. I hate to say it, but it's going to be also another shortened session day for me. I've got meetings at 10 a.m., but it's kind of the busy season for me in real estate now. So, and that is what has provided for me and my family for the last 21 years. So that is my main responsibility in life. And that work does come first. So I will be trading here. I'll have a video released out tomorrow, show you guys what setups come up. Happy trading, everyone. Take care.